22nd of November, Rabbi Moore, Parsha with Rashi, Vayeshev.
Well, oh. Very good. Okay, let's go. Yeah. To Vayeshev. Okay, we're up to Pasuk base, I believe.
Ele Todos Yaakov, Yosef ben Sheva Esrei Shana, Haya Ro'eh Es Achiv
Echav.
Son, V'hu Na'ar Es B'nei Vilcha, the Es B'nei Zilpah, Nishei Aviv, Vayave Yosef Es Dibasam Ra'ah El Avihem. Wow, it's a long pasuk.
Right.
So these are the generations of Yaakov. Yosef was 17 years old, and he would tend the sheep of his brother with his brothers, and he was a lad with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, the wives of his father.
Okay.
And Yosef brought evil words to their father.
Right. Evil gossip about them, right?
Dibar time is words, isn't it?
Dibar is actually a word meaning slander. It comes from the same word as dibur. It has from the same root, but it means dibar means, Rashi's going to point out over here. Rashi's going to dibar from dibar. Sorry?
Are you saying it's the same as Lashon Hara?
Yes, slander. No, it doesn't actually mean slander. It means evil reports, even if it's true. Slander generally in the world is understood to mean something wrong, right? I mean false. That's considered if you insult somebody or you claim against somebody he's done something and in fact he hasn't done it, that's called slander. But if he did do it, there's no among the goyim, there's nothing wrong in saying something bad about something which he actually did do. He's saying the truth.
Right. So are you saying this is slander or it's not slander?
It's not slander. It is, how do you call it? I don't remember how I translated it. Just give me a second. Let me see.
We're on Pasuk 2, Meir.
Thank you.
We're discussing the word dibasam,
That is right to their father, right?
which means words.
I
We're discussing whether it means slander or report.
I translate as evil gossip.
Oh, which chapter though?
37.
What does
Oh,
it say?
37? Oh.
You translated it as gossip. What is gossip?
Means what people talk to each other.
Is it true or not true?
True. Could be true. Evil gossip. That's why I translated it. Yes.
Evil gossip. Okay.
And what was this?
Um,
Somewhere like that.
My English says bad report.
Okay. Could be similar idea.
Okay, so now to the Rashi. Ela Toldos Yaakov, these are the generations of Yaakov. The Ela Shel Toldos Yaakov. These are of the generations of Yaakov. He sticks in the word shell.
Yeah.
Ela Yeshuvehem V'Gilgulehem. These are their settlements and their occurrences. Gilgulehem are occurrences. What is Gilgulehem?
Okay, I translate experiences. Okay, Gilgal means the turn of events. The word Gilgal comes from the Galgal comes from a Galgal, is a wheel. I think the way things turn. Okay.
The world turns. That was a soap opera when I was a kid.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ad sheba'u lichlal yashuv. Until they came to their ultimate settlement.
Right, which was they came to Eretz Yisrael.
Siba Rishonah. Well, wait a second. What do you mean they came to Eretz Yisrael? They're already in Eretz Yisrael.
No, but they went down to Mitzrayim. This whole thing. When they came back, the Jewish people came back to Eretz Yisrael. Where does the Torah end?
Oh, this goes. This is introducing the whole rest of the Torah. You're saying?
Correct.
Oh, okay, interesting. Let's see. Siva Rishona Yosef ben Shiva Esrei Vigomer. Okay, so Siba Rishona, the first cause, Yosef at the age of 17, etc.
Right.
The first cause of the rest of the Torah is Yosef.
I'm sorry?
I'm trying to understand what this Siba Rishonah means. I'm saying it's the first
step. The first step in the history of the Jewish people, the history of the descendants of Yaakov, was Yosef was 17 years old, and this following event happened.
Wow.
See, Rashi's better thing. Why mention only Yosef? Yaakov has 12 sons. So these are the descendants of Yaakov. Yosef was 17 years old. 1 second. Yosef's, first of all, son number 11. And number 2, there's another 11 sons as well. There's 12 sons altogether. So why only mention Yosef? So Rashi explained, Toldos Yaakov doesn't mean the descendants as far as human beings, the offspring, but it means the events that happened to the descendants of Yaakov. That's what Rashi said. Eile shel Toldos Yaakov. These are of the Toldos of the descendants of Yaakov. Meaning, these are all the events and experiences that happened to the descendants of Yaakov. And the first, Sibor doesn't mean a reason as it's used in Hebrew. Sibor Rishon means the first event, shall we say. Okay?
Yes. Al Yedei Zeh Nis Gal Galu. On account of this, were the experiences, were the following experiences? The turns of events?
Yeah, it came about. This galgalu means it came about.
Okay. And as a result of this, it came about Vayardu leMitzrayim, that they went down to Mitzrayim. Zehu achar.
Zehu achar yishuv pshuto shel mikra. V'yos dovo al ofnav. Okay, this is going into the straightforward explanation of the pasuk, that each word fits into its proper setting. Let's call it that way. Means you want to explain the pasuk according to its Parsha meaning. This is what I've just explained to you now. That's the pasuk of pshat. Okay. By the way, the word dovor al ofnov is a paraphrase from a pasuk in Mishlei. It says that a chacham, what's the sign of a chacham? He says dovor al ofnov. He speaks le'inyan, and each thing he says is in its proper place. Okay.
Umidrash Agada Doresh, and the Agadic midrashic explanation, Tala Hakasuv Toldos Yaakov B'Yosef. There's a dependency of scripture between the generations of Yaakov and Yosef.
Right. That's why he says the main offspring of Yaakov was Yosef.
Mipnei kama devarim, because of several reasons.
Right.
Achat shekol atzmo shel Yaakov. Firstly, that the entire purpose of Yaakov, lo avad itzo Lavan ella v'Rachel. He only worked for Lavan because of Rachel. V'she haya ziv a konin shel Yosef dome lo. And secondly, that the facial features of Yosef were like that of Yaakov.
Right. So that's number two.
V'chol ma she'era Yaakov, and everything that happened to Yaakov, era leYosef, happened to Yosef. Zeh nis tam v'zeh nis tam. This one was hated and this one was hated. Zeh achiv mivakesh lehar go. This one's brother wanted to kill him. V'zeh achiv echav mivakshim lehargo, and this one's brothers sought to kill him. V'chein harbe biv reshis rabbah, and similarly there are many in Breshis Rabbah. So I guess that means there's more similarities. V'od need rash bo Vayeshev.
Okay, let's stop here. This is the explanation of Ela told us Yaakov Yosef. Okay, that means according to this midrashic explanation, Yosef was the main descendant of Yaakov. Okay. Now, Ba'oid Nidrash boy, this is now another total going back to the beginning. Vayeshev.
And an additional midrashic explanation of Vayeshev. Bikesh Yaakov Leshev Bishalva. Yaakov requested to live in tranquility.
Very good.
You know how to make it bigger?
Kafatz alav rug zo shel Yosef. When troubles came upon
Be the middle one?
him, oh, I'm sorry, the troubles of Yosef were came upon him.
Right, it sprang upon him.
Tzadikim mivakshim leshev b'shalva. Righteous ones seek. When righteous ones seek to live in tranquility, Amar Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem says, Lo dayan letzadikim. It's not sufficient for the righteous.
Rhetorical question.
Rhetorical question. It's not sufficient for the righteous. Mashe mitsukan lahem lo'olam haba. That which has been prepared for them in the world to come. Ella shemivakshim. Rather, they want leishev b'shalva b'olam hazeh. They want to have tranquility also in this world.
Right.
Did I read that with the proper intonation?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I think so.
Okay.
Behu nar, and he was a lad.
Just 1 second. I want to make a point over here. This is something very important. What do you think when it says Bikesh Yaakov Leishev B'Shalva? What do you think he was doing?
I think he was desiring
Reading the New York
to have
Times,
peace and tranquility in his life.
which meant how was he spending his day?
Learning Torah.
Rather. So he wasn't just twiddling his thumbs, right? He was
No,
using his
not at
time
all.
to the full. But the point is, and this is a very important thing we saw in last week's Parsha as well. Yaakov was, we're going to go into, maybe we'll explain a little bit why that is. But Yaakov, we see all the way through Yaakov's life, Yaakov was destined to be challenged. He wasn't supposed to live an easy life. At every point of the way, he had to go to the house of Lavan. Well, first of all, he had the whole business with Esau. By the way, it seems though, till age of 63, when they got the brachas, everything was fine. Yaakov was sitting and learning. He was Yosha B'Shalva, sitting in the tents of Shem Ve'eva. Well, actually not Shem Ve'eva. He was sitting and learning with his father. He was having no troubles whatsoever. It's only after he'd got the brachas, then things started heating up a bit. Okay, so that's he had to run away, and then he was hidden for 14 years in Shem Ve'eva, and even that was, in calm. He wasn't troubled. And afterwards, when he got to the house of Lavan, then things started getting difficult. But Lamaisa, that was you see from the last Parsha that he had the fight with the Malach. That was Yaakov's tafkid, was to overcome challenges, to be challenged and overcome them, but not to have an easy life. And on the Maisa, the Pshat says, the Maisa that the person thinks, what have I done wrong? But Kosh Baruch Hu gives me so many challenges. Who says you've done anything wrong? Person doesn't necessarily work that way. Doesn't think, what have I done wrong because I'm so challenged. Not necessarily so. On the contrary, Kosh Baruch Hu gives a person challenges that Kosh Baruch Hu doesn't challenge a person, someone who's just beyond him. We discussed this over one time, that Kosh Baruch Hu says, there's a famous Ramban in the Parsha of the Akedah. Ramban says, it dwells on the pasuk, Hashem tzaddik yivchan. Person only gives the test somebody who's a tzaddik. Doesn't test Rishoy. Why? Because the whole idea of the test is to stretch the tzaddik's potential, to take it from something just his potential koach, to put it into action, to put it in something concrete and real. And later, that's basically the essence of any challenge which a person faces, is that the Kosh Baruch Hu knows that the person can rise up to the challenge and ultimately pull himself on a higher level. If he overcomes the challenge, he's now going to be a higher spiritual level than he had been before he'd been challenged. I'm not going to go into the whole Indian now, but the Maisa, that's basically what comes out. Challenges are made to bring a person higher to a higher level of spirituality. Okay?
Shehaya oseh maaseh na'arus.
Right.
He did things that were childish. Misakein bis aro mi mashmesh be'enav. He fixed his hair and he touched up his eyes. Kedei sheyeh nir'eh yafeh. In order that he should look handsome.
Nice, handsome. Okay, it was, in simple terms, he was a teenager, right? Obviously, Chazal, we're talking about Yosef, was somebody who was destined to be a very great person. But nevertheless, in his younger years, before he'd been fully developed, he still had this element of maybe how should I say it? Doing certain things which in his eyes, in his mind they were doing it l'shem shamayim, but they weren't necessarily the most desirable things to do. Because obviously he wanted to look good, he realized he was destined to be for leadership. And the leader has to look, because we're going to be presentable. So therefore he did all these things that he should look more presentable. On the other hand, Chazal say that it was, the Torah here tells us, it was a childish way of looking at it, or a teenage way of looking at it.
But you can say it's a teenage way because we know he's a teenager. It says he's 17 years old. So why does it say he's a lad? It's because he was acting more immature than his 17 years.
So I want to tell you something from my own experience. Bli Ayin Hara had, among for my sixth teenager, my boy, sixth teenage boy, Bli Ayin Hara, right? And each of them go through their teenage years differently. Some of my boys were very, didn't have the teenage mishigasen, right? Of, as Rashi says, doing up your hair and trying to look nice and putting on very strong smelling deodorant and all these things, right? But the others, they took the different characters. And in fact, Yosef was actually of a character which was more noter to beautify himself. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to go into the whole Indian. The Chazal say that he came from Shoyesh of Rachel. He was born from Rachel. Rachel was known for her beauty more than Leah, etc. Whatever this whole thing. But that's why Yosef, in his natural, in his innate nature, he was much more drawn to making himself beautiful than maybe any of his other brothers. Okay?
Es b'nei Bilcha, with the sons of Bilcha. Klomar v'ragil eitzel b'nei Bilcha. As to say that he associated with the sons of Bilcha. Lefi shehayu echav mevazin osan, in order that it should be that his brothers.
Because Shahayu Echav Mevazim Osan, his brothers, i.e., the sons of Leah, were degrading them. Okay, Vahu Makaravan, and he befriended them. Okay. By the way, it's going on this Bnei Zilpa as well. We're just making the comparison. Just Rashi's taking the first Bnei Bila as mentioned first. That's why he mentions Bnei Bila, but who didn't applies to the sons of Zilpa as well. What I want to point out over here, the main point Rashi's pointing over here grammatically is Vahu Nar is one thing, and Es Bnei Bila, Es Bnei Zilpa is not going on Nar. If you could learn Parsha Pshat and Pasuk, he was a lad with the Bnei Bilha and the Bnei Zilpa. So Rashi is explaining that's not Pshat. Vahu Nar is one thing, and he was with it's like Kilu, it says Vahu Nar, Vahu Es Bnei Bilha, Es Bnei Zilpa, and he was together with the Bnei Bilha and Bnei Zilpa, but it's not connected to the Nar part. Okay, so that means there's two things about points. The pasuk mentioning 2 points about Yosef. Who Nar? One thing, he was a Nar, means he acted childishly, right? And he was with Bnei Bilha and Bnei Zilpa. Since he befriended them, he kept company with the Bnei Bilha and Bnei Zilpa. Okay.
The Basam Ra'ah. Bad reports about them. Kol Ra'ah Shehaya Ro'eh. Any wrong that he would see, Be'echav B'nei Leah, in his brothers, the sons of Leah, Haya Magid La'aviv. He would relate to his father. Shehayu Ochlin Aver Min Hachai, that they ate a limb from a living animal.
Right.
U'metau zalin bivnei hashfachos, and that they demeaned the sons of the handmaidens. Likrosan avadim, by calling them slaves.
Right. So the brothers, the sons of Leah, called the sons of Bilha and sons of Zilpa, he called them slave. They called them slaves, and he took their side, and he told his father, they're not acting properly towards the Bnei Bilha and Bnei Zilpa. Right? They degraded them by calling them avodim. The Chashudim, third thing.
And they were suspect of illicit relationships.
Right.
Uvish What?
I'll explain to you. The Medrash explains more. I think they had business dealings with the Canaanite women, and Yosef was choshed them that they had more than just business dealings. They had other dealings with them as well.
So it's okay to have business dealings with people who are over Avodah Zarah?
It's not so much about Avodah Zarah. That's you're allowed to, as long as you don't, as long as a result of your dealings with them, you're not going to, if you're going to cause them to praise their idol, That's a different story. But on a regular basis, you're allowed to have business dealings with Goyim, even if they're idol worshippers. I mean, I can tell you right now, the Marshal, we have employed in the shul, the cleaner in the shul right now is a guy from Sri Lanka, Ceylon in the old days, right? He told me he's a Buddhist. So the Chay is over Avodah Zarah. There's no problem in employing him because I'm employing him to clean, not to do anything with his Avodah Zarah. Maybe I should try and encourage him to leave his Avodah Zarah. I'm not sure. The Maisa, all this, the present day idol worship, which they have nowadays, it's not real idol worship. Gemara says it's only minhag avosem b'yodeh. It's like they follow the practices of their forefathers, but it's not a real belief in what the real belief in the idols. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that now. But anyway, upon him, the point was one shouldn't have do business relations with women, especially non-Jewish women, because one may come to have illicit relations with them. That's the problem. Alarayas. Okay.
Uvish Lashtan Laka, and Yosef was smitten by these three things.
Right. All three areas he got punished. He was smitten.
Vayish chatu sa'ir izim bimechiraso. That they slaughtered a goat when he was sold. V'lo achaluhu chai, and they did not eat it while it was alive.
Right.
Va'al diba shesiper alehem. And for the...
By the way, the proof from there is that even though technically the brothers didn't necessarily need to eat that goat, because the whole idea was they wanted to dip Yosef's special coat in the blood to show that he'd been mauled by the animal, right? And this was his blood-stained coat. So they didn't really need to eat the animal. Nevertheless, when they wanted to kill it, they didn't stump kill it, they slaughtered it properly. Okay?
And for the slander he related about them, Shekorin la'achehem avadim, when he called they called their brothers slaves. Le Eved Nimkar Yosef. Yosef was sold as a slave. Va'al ha'arayos siper alehem, and concerning the illicit relationships that he related about them, Vatisa Ashes Adonav Vigo, and his master's wife cast her eyes, etc.
Which means she tried to seduce him.
Right.
Okay, so each one he was punished. Okay.
Dibartam.
Dibasam, right.
Dibasam. Bad reports. Kol Lashon Diber.
Diba.
All expressions of the word Diber.
Not Diber, but Diba.
Diba.
The hay, right?
Diba.
Right.
Parlance. That's like the word parlance in English.
Right, you have, but he's parlor. You know, the reason why it's called a parlor is because that's where people would invite each other, people in to have a schmooze. That's where you would speak.
The Havdil.
Right.
So the English says gossip. Agrees with you.
Right.
I have a problem with that though, because gossip, to me, the English word gossip implies idle, that it's meaningless. It's did you hear about so and so that he was a slob or whatever? It's not meaningful reports about somebody doing something that is improper. Are you frozen, Rabbi? We lost the rabbi. Is everybody frozen? Anybody hear me? Hello? Hello?
What he told his father about them, that they had done this or that or whatever, was not necessarily of significance. But his intention was to put them in bad light. You see, they're not acting as they should. Could be that's why he uses this word diba. But here it's mashma, wherever you find out that the word diba is used specifically with regard to lashon hara. It's used specifically with regard to lashon hara. Okay, there's one more Rashi here before we finish.
Okay. Diba, Lashon, Do, Vev, Sif, Say, Yishenim. It has the same meaning as he makes speak the lips of the sleeping.
So it means that the lips of the sleeping doivev are how should you say, moving. How do you say the right word? And that's how they're translated over here. Arousing speech in the lips of the sleeping ones.
What does that mean?
Means sleeping ones is referring to not people who necessarily sleeping, the ones who are dead. Causes the dead to speak. That's what the pshat in the pasuk is.
I don't
Which
get it.
Chazal mean, how can you get dead people to speak? So Chazal say that anybody who some devout Torah of his is said over after he's passed away is keilu that he's still the dead person is still speaking.
Okay.
So that's what the pasuk means. It means Kadosh Baruch Hu has the lips of the dead people, Yishenim, those who are sleeping, doivev, speak. Their mouths will still, how do you say, move, or whatever.
And that's because of what Yosef was saying?
No. We're just bringing a proof that the term dibar is connected to speech. That's what we're doing. But doivev, dibar is connected to the word doivev. Actually, that's all Rashi's doing, bringing a grammatical point over here, that the term dibar is connected to the word doivev in the pasuk in Shiashi.
I see. Okay.
Very good. Okay, we'll stop here, and Mayor Bez Hashem or Steve, whatever, who's up first tomorrow, we'll get the next get to a place to read. Very good.
Very good.
All right.
Great
Take
day.
care. Bye-bye.
Well.